welcome to my channel, Learn and Earn, to live your life on your own terms. Hello everyone, you're welcome to my channel, Learn and Earn Academy. And today, I'm going to talk about Kerala floods. Whether it was a natural disaster or a man-made disaster, it's an analysis which is based entirely on the facts and figures available in the public domain. We as individuals and as human beings need to understand the boundaries in which nature will support us, beyond which even nature would not help us to help ourselves. It is one of the most disastrous floods which the country has ever seen. So let us go and discuss about how the Kerala floods have brought into the picture the man-made interventions which has resulted into such a massive loss to property and life. So why Kerala floods? Now this is an unprecedented flood which has brought the state to a standstill. In the last 1 or 2 weeks, the only thing which we could hear in news was Kerala floods. The entire state was at standstill. It was one of the worst floods in Kerala over the last century. Now, Indian western coast received above average rainfall because of sustained low pressure conditions, which ultimately resulted in more rainfalls than over the last several decades. Now the reasons for this is the change in land use patterns and climate change. We all have heard this word climate change quite often, but now we can see the repercussions, the results of exploiting nature beyond its limitations. So what is the present situation? The present situation is not only it's a natural disaster, but the situation has been aggravated by man-made problems. Increasing stone quarrying activities in Kerala, along with large-scale constructions, have resulted in loss of huge ecosystem of greenery, of trees, plants, which are the binding blocks of the soil. Unregulated growth of illegal constructions and creation of real estate all over the state has also resulted in this sort of disaster. Now, all these development activities, unregulated growth of illegal constructions, activities which are not natural, which are being used for construction, will ultimately lead to natural disasters. Vested interests that do not want any environmental laws to be implemented. Because there are people, the big industrialists, the real estate agents, they don't want environmental laws to be there. Because if it is there, they won't be able to make the infrastructure and make huge profits. Silting up of reservoirs permanently in Western Ghats due to massive encroachment and deforestation of catchment areas. Now this is also a major reason. Silting is deposition of sand in the reservoirs, which results in less accumulation of waters, and all the water flows over the sand which is accumulated. Idukki Dam is a case wherein the entire catchment area was encroached along the dam construction. Now what are the major reasons for the crisis which Kerala has seen. The Kerala disaster essentially has been caused by extreme rainfall since June 1st. Now, if you take percentage, it's 42.17% excess in the state and 83.5% access in entire Idukki district. Now, 10% of the land in the state lies below the sea level. Now, you can imagine rainfall exceeding more than what it used to happen in the past by 42%, and Kerala being 10% below the sea level is one of the major reasons for such a massive scale disaster. High population density as compared to all India density. There was no battalion of state disaster response force ready to tackle any situation of this sort. Poor management. Now, this is something which is not only about Kerala, but also the floods which have taken place in the past in different states. And states like Bihar, Western UP are the states where floods happen quite often, in fact, every year. Also in the northeastern states, such as Assam, Nagaland, these are the states, the districts are affected hugely by floods. Bihar in 2016 and Surat in 2006 were exacerbated by the poor dam management. Even in Uttarakhand disaster, uncontrolled constructions, large hydropower plants and deforestations were assessed to have aided the scale of destruction. In 2015, Chennai floods violated of dam safety norms, which was a critical factor as per CAG report. Now, in 2011, there was a committee formed to analyze and assess the situation and how to preserve ecology and biodiversity in the fragile region. Now, this committee was headed by Madhav Gadgil. Had the report suggestions been implemented, Kerala floods could have been saved, or the disaster level would have not been to such a scale. Now, the part of the problem in Kerala was man-made. The committee suggested measures to conserve, protect, and regenerate the entire range of Western Ghats that stretches from 1500 km along the coast. Now, this was the recommendation of Madhav Gadgil committee. But what happened? The committee also recommended a ban on certain new industrial and mining activities in the area. It called for strict regulation of many other development works. It recommended that entire Western Ghats spread over 6 states, including Kerala, be declared ecologically sensitive area. Now, none of the 6 concerned states agreed with the recommendation of Gadgil committee. This is the saddest part. Now, later, a high-level working group on Western Ghats under Kasturi Ranjan was constituted to examine the Gadgil committee report. Now, since none of the states were willing to accept the Gadgil committee report, another high-level working group was formed under the leadership of Kasturi Ranjan. It suggested that only third of the Western Ghats be identified as ecologically sensitive area. Later, Environment Ministry notified certain areas in the Western Ghats as ecologically sensitive areas. Now, according to the database compiled by Center for Research on Epidemiology and Disasters, the instances of extreme weather have gone up from 71 in 1970 to 224 in 1990s and 350 in the first decade of the millennium. Now you can see the intensity, the frequency of natural disasters is increasing. Why is this increasing? Because humans are making more interventions in the process of natural regeneration. Since the Uttarakhand flooding, such extreme rainfalls event have led to disaster-like situation in India every year. The recent disaster that hit Kashmir when Jhelum River overflowed, Odisha bore the brunt of cyclonic storm Fallon, the worst since 1999. In 2010, there was a cloudburst in Leh. Now, what are these indicating? These are indicating that we as human beings need to be very practical, pragmatic, and take a balanced overview of all the development works which we want to do for us. We cannot go and disturb nature because nature will take its revenge. You cannot destroy nature. You need to preserve nature. Need to learn lessons from the past strategies and increase the resilience of disaster-struck areas through sustainable and long-term developments that would involve minimal interventions in natural processes. So what is the solution? We need to intervene in natural processes as minimum. Unjustified human interventions in natural processes need to be stopped and dams be managed properly. A flood management strategy at district, state and national level which will cover flood warnings, flood mitigation, rehabilitation of people who have been affected by floods is the solution. The reason for me to make this video is to create awareness how we as individuals, as human beings, can make the difference at our own level and protect such a disaster to happen ever again. Because it is us who get affected. It is our children, our parents who are struck in such huge disasters. People who make money out of creating huge infrastructure will run away, will be the first to run away. But the poor people who can't afford proper things for themselves are the people who will be struck and will have to lose their lives. So let us create the level of accountability, awareness among ourselves so that we are the first one to intervene when anything of this sort happens in future. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day. Bye-bye. If you like my video, please like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel by pressing the bell icon.